Many times during the implementation, we're trying to figure out if we're going to use advanced warehouse or basic warehouse. So sometimes we make some decisions based on what we know today. So you may start with a customer that's really not ready for advanced warehouse. So you turn on basic, set everything up basic. And then later on, you know, 6 months, year down the road, the company may decide they want to use advanced warehouse, but you've made the decision to go ahead and start off with basic. So there's a way to convert over from basic to advanced warehouse. That's what we're going to take a look at today, is how to do that. So what we're going to do, I've got a warehouse set up that's set up as basic. I've got a couple of items set up that are basic. So there's going to be two things we need to do. The first thing is we're going to change the items over from a basic warehouse. So we're going to change the storage dimension to a advanced warehouse-based storage dimension. And the second thing we're going to do is we're going to change the warehouse over to advanced warehouse. So we need to update the locations and assign profiles. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and take a look at the items and how to get those items set. So where we're going to go is we're going to go into the warehouse management module. We're going to go underneath setup and then enable warehouse management processes. So we're going to do the items first. And I've got two items that have currently got set up as basic warehouse items. So I'm going to do this prod 1 is the first one. And so what you do in here is you just say what storage dimension group you want to go to. So right now it's set up as this basic. I'm going to change that over to warehouse. I'm going to change the storage dimension to default and the unit sequence group to EA on this one each. Okay. Then we can do the same thing on prod 2. And we're going to use the same values here. Okay. What I'm going to do is let me duplicate this tab real quick, and we'll go over to release products just so we can take a look at the before and after. So let's go to product information management, and then we're going to go to release products, and then we'll go to and we'll find our prod items there. So we got prod 1 and 2. So if we go look at prod 1, we see that the storage dimension group is basic. Prod 2 is set up exactly the same way. So if we go back to our storage dimension change, what I'm going to do is I'm going to validate my change here. It's ready to process. Then I'm going to go ahead and process my change. And we'll go ahead and say OK. Now, while this is processing, one of the things I'll mention to you is that you can use the Excel add-in to quickly import the, copy and paste from other spreadsheets, export, do whatever you need to do. Use that Excel add-in to import back into the screen. Actually, both of these screens work that way. On this screen, the product screen, and then on the warehouse screen, it does as well. So let's go ahead and refresh over here, and we'll wait for this to run. All right, so now the batch job should be done. Let's refresh here, and those items are gone. So basically, once they're updated, there's a filter on here that once they're processed, they're gone. So if we go back to the release product details here, so I'm going to refresh this screen, and we should see that basic change to warehouse. Notice our reservation hierarchy is now default. If we go down to our warehouse section down here, we'll have a unit sequence group. So that's how you convert over the items from a basic item, basic warehouse type item, to a storage dimension group that will use advanced warehouse. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is let's convert some warehouses over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into warehouse management. We're going to go into warehouse and then warehouses. Take a look at this warehouse I have set up for us. So I've just got a warehouse that's called basic to AWMS set up. Use warehouse management processes. No. If we go to warehouse here and go take a look at the locations, I've got 4 locations here. So you obviously have more than that, but for this example, I just gave 4. So the program we're going to run to do this one is, I'm going to flip back over here. We're going to go into the warehouse management, enable warehouse setup, and then what we're going to do is we're going to click new, specify the warehouse, basic AWS, and then we'll hit save, and then we'll see a location show up down here. So this is where you're going to go and just assign the location profiles to it. Let's go ahead and assign bulk to all of these. And I will give you kind of a caveat here in just a second. Let me run this. But so what we want to do, once you get all your locations in there, we're going to go ahead and validate changes. And then we'll go ahead and press the process changes. And then we'll go ahead and hit OK. All right, so that's going to go in and change those. Now, one thing you do need to keep in mind is that if you have license plate locations or need license plate locations, I would initially change them over to non-license plate locations and move move the items from the non-license plate location into a license plate. It won't change over, or at least I haven't found a way to change it over to a license plated location. So all of those bulk locations are non-license plate controlled. So it's not going to have any issues. But if you're trying to convert it to a license plate location, it's going to give you an error saying it's a license plate location. So again, convert it to a non-license plate, and then add other locations that's based on, has your license plates on, then you can just move the inventory. So now if we go and take back a look at the warehouse screen here, I've gone, so here my basic AWMS, notice my AWMS flag is flipped now. If I go to, let's go into the location screen here, we'll take a look at that, we'll go to our locations. Open that up, and then we'll filter for our warehouse here, we'll go BAS. And then there's our locations that are changed over from basic warehouse locations to advanced warehouse locations. So they're all assigned to location profile bulk. Okay, so that's how you do it. It's not too terribly difficult to do. It's just something you want to plan for and go ahead and do, do over the weekend or something. Definitely don't do it when they're in production, but do it in some off period hours. Change these over. Not too bad. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.